Hi, Orcs people and gun people. So, this is called, I think it's called limestone. It's a base for concrete, or not for concrete, when you're laying a thing. I think I'll put this little rabbit getting a drink over there. Get all the critters. There's Moki. There's the rabbit getting a drink. There's Mr. T getting a drink. He left because I came out over to camera, and there's Buddy. So I wanted to go over a couple projects. I'm out of breath because I was just moving that damn freaking sand. So I did I ordered a swing online. I was gonna build it because I have my swing on front, and I paid $200 for my swing on front. So you can look at this one. I paid $199 free shipping on Amazon, and it's made by the Amish. And it came with all the chains and everything, and it comes in 4 pieces. The bottom piece, the back piece, and then these 2 arm pieces. So it was really easy to put together. It came with all the hardware. I thought for $199 it was a great swing. Now it comes as just pressure wood pine. I put 2 or 3 coats of that spur urethane on them, or spar urethane. And I'll try to slide in a picture so you know. But anyway, I put 2 or 3 coats on there before I even put it together. Then I put it together and put it out here. And the spur urethane, or spar, I can't remember which one it is. It's a protectant. So it's a sealant, so it seals. So this is non-stained wood. It did darken it up just a little bit. It was more like that back piece right there, light. And my front one, hi Moki Cat. Dead kitty. Good boy. So the front one, I've done a couple videos. I bought this from a local guy, and I had to go pick it up, and he put it together. It's a 4 foot wide. The one up front that I just showed is 5 foot. I think I like the 5 foot a little bit better. This is okay if you want to get close and sit close to your girl, but the 5 footer just seems like it's a little bit more spacious. And I was going to put it on that side of the thing because in the morning, as you can tell, the morning sun here hits this side. So I can't come out in the morning, drink my coffee, and work on my computer because the sun's in here and it washes it out and it's too damn hot. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get another one. I'm going to put it on that side. So the west sun comes over here and I can sit over here in the morning, and then in the afternoon when the sun doesn't hit me over here because the west is on the other side, I can sit on this one. And I just hung it in the back. But this has, I end up, I think, staining this, and I put some, what's my go-to on wood? Shit, I can't believe I can't think of it. Everyone else thinks of it. They're always commenting about it. What's that stuff I put on all my wood that everybody tells me I'm addicted to? Crap, I'll think of it. Anyway, another thing that I added to this swing is those springs. You can get them at Home Depot. I think they're a little stronger than at Home Depot. I ordered one on Amazon, and they seem to be a little bit weaker, and they're about the same price. But those springs are really nice because normally when a chain's connected solid and you sit on a swing, it kind of jars you. Well, with the spring, it makes the swing and everything just give a little bit. So it's a little bit more comfortable seat. So if you have a swing, I'd recommend putting one of those springs on it. And now I'll get to my other project. Hi, Moki Cat. Hi, Moki Cat. Meow. Let me show this one real quick since you just had a view of the other one. The difference. The Amish, you know, they put, I think it's a little bit more sturdy. They had a couple of 2x4s here. They put your chain through the hole here. Let's see. It curves around the back. The wood comes all the way around instead of, I think on the one on the front, it just kind of stops short right here. It also curves on the front here. And when I did the back side, I got some drips on the front side, so I haven't really scraped or sanded those off. I don't even know if I will. I don't care. There's a few drips when I had it upside down. Hi, Moki Cat. Meow, what are you doing? You come demonstrate the swing for the YouTubies. Come here and show them how you like your little swing. I know. Hang on, show them how you like your little swing. So Moki gets on it sometime. He'll get on it with me, but he's not real a fan by himself. He usually hops off after I leave, but sometimes I'll see him sitting out here. So the other project I got going on is the hose is stretched out here because I was watering down. I did, and I don't think I put this on the gun channel, but man, moving all this friggin'. So I had some DG, decomposite granite out here, and that's this orange stuff. And I wanted to solid this area up because the horses are always in here. They don't pee and poop in here too much. In the winter they do because they don't want to go outside. It's too damn cold, so they stay in here. So sometimes it gets a little urine, but I'm not, the urine isn't a problem. The problem is it rains so much here that all this gets soaked. And then when they stand in here, they create indentations that pulls water and it's not level. So I put that DG down in here and I did a video of it on, shit, let me pull up one of these damn corners if I can grab a corner. I don't like being able to grab a corner, so then the horses don't trip on it. So that's what it looks like when it's packed down. And it usually stays pretty solid unless it gets saturated with water, then it'll get a little soft. So then I was like, you know what? I still had a heel right here because the horses, when you have horses, they move in and out of here all the time. And when it's muddy, every time they walk in, their feet collect mud and they come in here and then the mud drops off. They walk out, mud collects, and then they walk around a pasture and it falls off. They come back in, they collect mud. So they're always pulling footing and mud from this area. And what's happened over the years is it's become lower and lower. And there's almost like a foot or 2 foot drop here. So when I put the DG, I made a little ramp right here and I had 4 yards delivered. And I think it cost me like $360, which was stupid. If I had to do it again, you know. So I was like, you know what? I'm still not happy. I'm still going to have mud out here. We had a big rain, and when they got mud out there, they walked through the DG and it pulled it up. And I went, crap, that didn't work too well. So I went ahead and got this, it's called base for a driveway base. Now there's 2 different types of base. There's the rock, and then there's this. And I think this is like ground limestone. If you call any wood people, they'll tell you what it is. So, and I need to build up this area. You can tell where the water is washed out and it's like dropping from years of water running and other things. So it's washing out. So I'm filling all this in with this base because this stuff, they said, gets like concrete when it's solid. And most driveways, as you drive across, you know, once you put a few coats of this down, it's almost like concrete. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get some of that. So I had the same company that was going to deliver my DG for $300. They wanted $230 to deliver 4 yards, which was the same amount here. And I was like, dude, I'm paying too much for shipping every time I ship because I'm going to need about probably 3 or 4 of those loads of 4 yards to do this. And so he goes, well, you might want to get a truckload. So I called a company that had truckloads. I got 22 yards for $500 delivered. And I'm like, are you kidding me? That's freaking cheap to what I was paying. So I had them dump half here and then a quarter over there and then a quarter in another area. But now I'm out here, you know, and they're like, we'll bring a skid steer out and we'll spread it for you and pack it down. I go, oh, really? I said, how much that cost me? He goes, $400. I go, that's all right, I'll use a shovel. He started laughing. He goes, dude, do you know how many yards, how much 22 yards of this stuff is? And I go, well, I'm assuming it's like 5 times more than the 4 yards I just got delivered. And I spread by shovel. He goes, all right. He goes, I think you're crazy if you think you're going to do that with a shovel, but okay. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm doing it by shovel. I ain't spending $400 for you to come out here with a tractor. So these 2 miles were bigger, and I'm slowly, because he just dumped 2 piles here. The 2 piles looked like that when I started. So I've kind of spread it out a little bit, and each day I come out here. In the morning when it's cool, I'll come out here for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes and just throw shovels and spread it. And then take a rake and rake it. Now this one I haven't started yet. The reason I had this stuff dumped here, and this is more for anybody who's got not only horsey people, but if you got any animals or you got any area that gets muddy in the winter, I think this is going to be the fix. So I'm going to spread all this with my shovel like a crazy man on in this area, because you can tell it turns into mud. Now if you watch my horse channel, about 3 years ago, I laid a piece of carpet out here. And it worked pretty good for a while. The carpet kind of absorbed the moisture and it helped, so when the horse stepped on it, it didn't make as deep. This is usually big, deep holes like this everywhere. because there's no carpet here. It's usually big, deep holes. So it's hard for the horses, it's hard for me to drive over, etc. So hopefully when I spread this out over this area, it's gonna stop turning this into a mud puddle. And the horses, if they can't get to mud, they don't carry it away. This tends to pack down. You can tell just right here where it's like very little packed. When you step on it a little bit, it gets solid and it turns back into a nice solid thing. So I really like the fact that you know, it compacts and it's pretty cheap. I think I want to say 35 a yard or 45 a yard if you're buying it by the yard. So I think I was paying 45 a yard, but if you get it by the truckload, you get all this for 500 bucks. And there's another area. Now, what he did in the other area, and I'm not sure I would have had him do it here. Let's walk over here. Horses are moving back to the shady area. The sun's coming up. It was nice and cool this morning. And so even walking through here, you can tell when I step here where it's not packed, I get a good indentation. But when I go back, it doesn't go down much further. I mean, it gets pretty hard. And where the horses have walked over right here where there's a little mound, I went ahead and I dug that up and just did a little bit of digging here with the shovel. And it actually was hard to get the shovel through there. So it's already soliding up. Now, of course, I took the hose and I wet this down because when you wet it and then you pack it, it gets harder. So hopefully after the first rain, it will get even harder. But again, this isn't going to turn into mud and it's not going to stick to their hooves and carry it off, which will hopefully fix my problem. Now, will it fix the problem? I don't know. So here's what he did on this side. And I don't know how long it'll take me to do that. It took me like 24 hours to do the 4 yards. I went out there maybe 6 times. So I'm thinking in a few days I'll have that spread out, but I'm in no hurry. It doesn't really matter. I just don't want it to get solid in a big mound. So on this one, what they normally do on driveways is instead of letting the back gate just flop open and have the stuff dump in a pile like he did over there, here he chained his back gate to where it'll only open like 2 inches. And then he drives. So as he's driving, the stuff's only pouring out of a 2-inch gap in the truck. So it makes a like wallway. Now I still need to come out here with a shovel and spread this out. And he kind of spread it too far. I didn't want it this far. I wanted it more right here around the gate because that's where it gets muddy. So I'm gonna have to come out here with a shovel and move some of this and kind of pack this down. But you can tell even where he drove over it, it's like a freaking rock where he drove that big truck over it. And it hasn't even rained yet. So after it rains, and after I spread all this out and get it level, it's gonna make a nice base pack here and hopefully fix my mud problem, because that's my big issue is the horses. When horses stand in mud all winter, they get what's called mud scald, and it sticks to their feet and it creates irritation. And as they walk, it rubs and it breaks the skin. And then as the skin breaks, because of the moisture, it gets bacteria and fungus starts to grow. So there's always issues and feet problems when you have horses standing in mud. Mud and horses are not good. You could tell right here, what I might do is make a couple wheelbarrows full and come out here and put under these mats, because these mats are always kind of bending back, because the horses in the winter, they come here to drink water. So they're always walking. As they walk, they turn it into mud. Now I did come out here and I put another fix that worked pretty good is I put some lime powder, just a bag of lime, and some portercrete. Portercrete is basically concrete without the rock and stone. It's just straight dust. And when you mix it together and pour down, it turns into like concrete too. But you can tell I have a ramp where the horses are walking up here. It kind of goes down. So I might take a couple wheelbarrows full from those piles over there and reinforce this area. Also, gates tend to be muddy areas. You notice I have these pads here. I'm gonna pull these pads up and put maybe a wheelbarrow underneath both of these of that ground up limestone, and hopefully that will solid this up, because this usually gets muddy, and I can feel right now there's a hole right here. You can tell if I'm walking around, I can feel the holes, and you can tell where it's really low here. I don't know if you can see if I get low maybe, you can see where it kind of is uneven. So by putting that limestone underneath here, I can make it a little bit even. So those are the projects I got going on right now out here. I like the swing, it sits good. And it's still probably what I would say drying. I think it's been only 2 days since I put my last coat of that spur stuff. And I'm gonna go ahead and, hi Moki, you hanging out with Dad? Cause you're a good boy. Dead kitty, good boy. So let me show you what that spur is. Somebody sent me a nice little calendar. What else did they send me? Somebody sent me this, Susan. Which Susan sent me this? I think it says Susan Rogers sent me these kitty treats. The horse treats I already had. I figured out what I'm gonna do with this date woman. She looks pretty much like that. I gotta get some clothes for her. I'm gonna make her ride Buddy. And then somebody sent me a nice halter and a pair of gloves and a nice shirt, We the People shirt. Thank you, I had the thing. Here's the directions for the swing. Where's that spur stuff? I still haven't done my dinosaur thing yet. Here's that spur stuff. Hillsman Spur, or Spar, S-P-A-R. That stuff works pretty damn good. I put it on there, and I like what it did to other things too. What else did I put that on? I put a little bit on my Lucille bat. I don't think I used it on that. I used regular water base. That spur is oil based, so it's a little bit harder to work with. I think I put some of that spur on this axe handle here. Worked really nice. This was getting all dry. This looked like this on the bottom, and it was really getting dry. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and put a coat of that spur on there since I already had my oil out. Usually when I get things out and I want to put things on it, hi Muggy, I just go ahead and get my wood stuff that I want to protect and I pull it all over here. So what else should I do with that spur? I think I did my little fire axe because I know the firemen are jealous. Look, all the firemen, I got a fire extinguisher and a fire axe. Ooh, I also got a hooligan tool over here somewhere. Where's that hooligan? Look at this. Ooh, I'm a fireman. Hooligan tool's got an axe, got a punch on one side, a punch there. This expands out for leverage to break in a door. Anyway, I think I did this axe handle. This axe handle got really kind of rusty outside, or not rusty, kind of dried, and it was rough. So I sanded it down and I put some of that spur on it. It did a really nice job. Now I can swing this without using my hands. I had an extra axe handle, and I went ahead and did it. This will make a nice baton, but if I have an axe handle break, I've got a replacement here that I can use. I think I put that at a garage sale for $1 or $2. Somebody was like trying to get rid of it. And this one was really bad. And I mean, it's still kind of rough, but that spur filled up these deep grooves in this wood, and it made it to where I can use this pitchfork now. So I think I put it on that. But anyway, that's my little projects. Funky's getting a snack. I don't think I did anything else with that wood so much. Hell, we'll end that there. This has been a long one. This is another little project I did that I forgot to put in here, but well worth it, and I wish I'd have done it sooner. This is a light switch. You can see it at night when it's dark. So there's a light in there. And at night, I used to come in here and I couldn't see the damn switch, and I'm reaching around. I'm trying to find it, and I'm hitting this, and I'm hitting this, and I'm like, crap. So, shit, for $4, they had a switch at Home Depot for a light that stays on. And it's only on when the lights are off. When the lights are on, the light goes off. So, because the lights are on now, there's no light. And then when I turn it off, the light comes back on. So at night, that is great. I highly recommend if you've got a light that you've been cussing out because you can't find it, or you got multiple switches and you don't know which one's for the light. $4, Home Depot. Highly recommend it. Y'all have a good one. Horsey people and gun people. I'll post this on both because I guess everybody can use that lime base. Again, it's called driveway base. It's the crushed stuff. They'll try to push the rock on you. I don't use rock. Maybe rock, somebody will tell you rock lasts longer and it won't wash away. But the problem with rock is I don't like horses walking on rocks. Small rocks are okay, but if you use pebbles, and I did put pebbles underneath here. I pulled one of these back a few years ago. I don't have to pull it back. There it is. So I had a dump load of pebble rocks dumped here that I put under here because this is where I always give them a bath. And it's always getting wet in the summer because I'm hosing them down. And when you hose down a couple horses, that's a lot of water. So, but it's held, the pebble rocks have held pretty good. I don't really think I need to put any of that, but I might, depending on how much I have left after I get spread out and get that spread out, I might put a couple wheelbarrows over here and maybe just, you know, solid up a few. They don't walk on that one that much or that one that much. But these two right here, they walk a lot, and those two over there, they walk a lot. So reinforcing this with a little bit of that would probably, wouldn't hurt. And let's see, I think that's it. I was thinking of maybe, if I got some more, have a load dumped in here, because this area turns into kind of a mud hole too. I put these pads here because the water soaks in, and that's little rabbit's hole. I don't know. She thinks she's going to get pregnant. She keeps digging that hole and moving it, and I filled it in once, and then I just left her alone. So now she's just playing with the dirt. It keeps her busy. That's whatever. I'd rather dig there than out in the pasture and hurt a horse, so I'm not messing with her. So you can tell how this is kind of lopsided where that sits, and the mud gets really dry in here and it cracks when there's no moisture, and then when it gets water, it turns into mud. And then if I drive or walk or stand or anything sitting in here will sink in as it gets moist. So I would probably like to put a couple of dump loads in here. So maybe I'll just be filling up a wheelbarrow and bringing a wheelbarrow at a time in here and reinforcing this if I have enough. I mean, I'm pretty sure I do. Right now, if I cut off those two mounds, and pretty much where it's sitting now is where I want, is where the mud usually gets. So if I'm going to spread out a little more, I want it a little bit thicker over there, because that's their entry point. They're always either coming from this pasture or from behind the water. So when they leave to go get water, they go that way. When they go out to any of the pastures, except this one over here to the right, they go out that way. So that gets the most pounding. So I'm going to put a little bit extra over there and level that out. And then whatever I have left, I'll just move to the gates, maybe under the water buckets, etc. And I cut the grass, but I didn't get the little, I have to do this with a push because the riding won't fit through here. So I usually do this every other time, but it looks like it needs to get done. Oh, there's a couple little apples there. Buddy ain't been in here and found those, or those suckers would be gone. This one's kind of getting indentation on these rocks too, but I'm not going to mess with that. Those rocks have held up pretty good. The only thing I did to this is when he put it in, he stopped the roof about here, and it was too short, and all the water came in here and it got wet. So I added a piece from here to here, and I added this form and put this in, put that pole there. So I would have a little bit more cover here to cover this area. And then all my gas and stuff is in there. My other explosive type material. Rick, you shouldn't keep explosive. Shut up, you big dummies. You ain't even been in there. You don't know what I got in there. All right. Shit, it's windy. It's nice. I'm cooling off in the wind. I'll sit on my little swing here, and we'll call that a day. I put those springs up there. Those are the springs from Amazon, and even when I'm not on it, they're already compressed, and you can tell they're pretty compressed now. They say each one holds 300 pounds, so that should be, 600 pounds on here. That should it take to compress those. But the ones on the front, they barely move. They move just enough to relax. But this one is these compress even when I'm not on it, just from the weight of the swing. The swing weighs about, I want to say shipping weight was like 45 pounds. So the back piece and the front piece, when I weighed them, they were about 20 something pounds each. And then you got the sides, and then you had the chain and the screws. 199 bucks, pretty nice little swing. Again, I got some drip marks there. I know somebody's gonna be cracking on my stuff, but when I turned it over, I just painted the back side, and because I'd already painted the front and did this, that oil just kind of ran across that, and I was sticking the thing through here to get these side slats. I wanted it good and protected because Texas sun doesn't play around here. This was holding up pretty good, but it was still turning muddy around here. So I ordered a truckload, which is 500 bucks for the truckload. Hell, I paid 300 bucks just for this little small stuff. So all this is here, and then he's gonna dump the other stuff over there. And I don't know how he's gonna do that. I figured he would disconnect, but I'm thinking he's gonna try and back that all the way up and then dump the second truck through there. So Mr. T went ahead and got the hell out of here. And hopefully this is gonna spread out. I'm gonna do it too. They laughed at me. They go, "You're spreading all this by shovel in hand?" I go, "Yeah, I don't have a tractor." They go, "Oh, we have a tractor. $400, we'll come out and spread it." And I go, "That's all right, I'll use my So I'll stay out of his way here. I thought he was gonna disconnect that, but evidently he's gonna back that all the way through and then dump the big truck. Half of that here and then half on the other gate. I better get off here so I can, wow, that stuff really packs down good. Look at that horse. So I guess, oh, he's gonna have that on the side of him and then he's gonna jackknife it. Oh, I see what he's doing. Buddy's watching. So he's got it here. I wish he'd have put it here, but he said when I tell him stop, then he'll go dump the other stuff in the other one. And I think this is probably the worst mud. So these two things I think are, I thought he said like 80 yards. And the DG was, I want him to do a little bit more. Because I think I'm gonna need to drag that all the way over here. And I don't really need as much at that other gate. Perfect. So Buddy's got to go over there and get his head crushed in by the tractor. What are you doing? Is he gonna get you? Is he gonna get you? Is that about half left in there? Can you see? I'd rather probably a little more than half here, and I think I do.
Oh yeah, you got a little more.
Okay, good, because I don't need as much as the other one. That's good. Man, I sure hope this helps with the mud problem.
Oh yeah, it will.
You think so? These horses go through here when it gets muddy and it just turns into a damn mud pit.
Yeah, and anything else really makes it worse.
I know. I put carpet. I've put like a bag of lime and a bag of concrete, and I'm like trying different things. But
Lime didn't help, huh?
well, the lime did underneath where I put the mats because it doesn't get soaked.
It helped really.
Yeah, it turned into like concrete. I mixed it with that portercrete and lime, dude. It.
This will get a little.
Okay. Crazy mule. He's got to get right up on it in the middle of every damn thing. Crazy mule. Good boy, Mr. T. You don't need any of these problems. All right, I got to go follow him to the other one. So he said if you put those chains on, it would help spread it. Oh, I know what he's talking about. He changed the back so it doesn't open up wide. Oh, that's what he's talking. I was like, what is he talking about? He said if I put the chains on it, it'll help spread it. Oh, yeah. Oh, nice. Ah. I see what it did. Yeah, that spread it out nice.